Hey there, Flutter enthusiasts. Today we're kicking off a brand new series on our channel, Top 5 Tips and Tricks in Flutter. In this series we'll cover all the nifty tricks and techniques that make Flutter development a breeze. But before we dive in, make sure to hit that subscribe button and ring the notification bell, so you never miss out on our latest tips and tricks. Alright, let's get started. Tip number 1. Using the Shimmer Effect. At the top of our list is the Shimmer Effect in Flutter, a fantastic way to add a touch of elegance to your app's loading screens. To demonstrate, I've created a dummy app that fetches data from an API and displays it in a list tile. This data includes information about 5 famous poets, and even a dummy profile picture. Now, watch closely as I hit the hot restart button. Notice how, as the data is being fetched, a shimmer effect gracefully dances across the screen, providing a visually engaging experience for the user. Let's hit hot restart once more to see it in action again. Ah, there it is. That shimmer effect adds a subtle yet impactful touch to our loading process, making it much more pleasant for the user. Now, let's take a peek at the code behind this shimmer effect. In the body property of our scaffold, we have a condition called isLoading. If the data is still loading, we execute the _buildLoading indicator widget, which creates the shimmer effect. Otherwise, we display the list of poet data. Inside the _buildLoading indicator widget, you'll find a listview.builder that creates 5 shimmering placeholders, mimicking the structure of our actual list tile widget. Take a look inside, and you'll see that we're using the shimmer.fromColor widget, along with different shades of gray, to create that beautiful shimmer effect. And that's it. The shimmer effect is not only visually appealing but also serves a practical purpose in enhancing the user experience during data loading. I'll include a link to the Shimmer package in the description below, so be sure to check it out and give it a try in your own Flutter projects. Alright folks, it's time for tip number 2, using Google Fonts in Flutter. When it comes to adding custom fonts to our Flutter app, the traditional approach involves manually downloading the fonts, placing them in a fonts folder, and then uncommenting the fonts section in the pubspec.yaml file. Let's face it, that process can be quite frustrating and time-consuming. But fear not, because there's a much simpler solution, Google Fonts. With Google Fonts we can easily use any Google font directly in our app without the hassle of manual downloading and configuration. Let me show you how it's done. Here's a dummy app that displays a simple text, Google Fonts example. Now, take a look inside the text widget. You'll notice that I've used Google Fonts in the style property. By default the font is set to Lato. But let's spice things up a bit and change it to Hankin Grotesque. With just a quick hot restart of our app, voila! Our font is now changed to Hankin Grotesque. Isn't that amazing? Using Google Fonts in Flutter is by far the easiest and most convenient way to incorporate different fonts into our app. I'll also include the package link in the description. Alright Flutter enthusiasts, it's time for tip number 3, using the Scaffold Gradient Background widget in Flutter. One of the easiest ways to create a stunning and visually appealing background in your Flutter app is by using the Scaffold Gradient Background widget. Take a look at the emulator, and see that beautiful gradient background. It adds a touch of elegance and sophistication to our app. Now, let's take a quick peek at the code behind this mesmerizing background. It's surprisingly simple. Just like how we use the Scaffold widget, we'll use the Scaffold Gradient Background widget in its place. All the properties included in the Scaffold Gradient Background widget are similar to those in the regular scaffold, with one additional property, gradient. This property allows us to define the gradient for our background. In this example, I've set the gradient property to a linear gradient with 2 beautiful colors, creating a gradient from bottom left to top right. But let's get a little creative. Let's tweak the colors of our gradient. Ah, there we go. With just a simple change of colors and a hot restart, our gradient background has transformed into something entirely new and captivating. So if you're looking to add a touch of beauty and elegance to your UI with a gradient background, be sure to check out the Scaffold Gradient Background widget. I'll provide the link to the package in the description below, so make sure to check it out. Alright Flutter enthusiasts, it's time to dive into tip number 4, creating beautiful onboarding or introduction screens in Flutter. If you want to create stunning onboarding or introduction screens for your Flutter app, look no further than the Introduction Screen package. This package provides a structured approach to creating onboarding screens that enhance the overall user experience of your app. As you can see in the emulator, I've already set up a dummy app with a beautiful introduction screen. Let's take a closer look at the code behind it. Inside a separate file, I've created a stateful widget with a state class where I return the introduction screen widget. Now let's open up this widget and explore its properties. First up, we have the key property. Here, I've set the _intro key variable value to global to easily track it in the widget tree. Next we have the pages property, where we define the pages for our introduction screen. In this example, I've created two simple pages using the page view model widget. Each page contains an image and text, providing users with a brief overview of the app's features. I've also set the Show Next button and Show Done button properties to false. But that's just scratching the surface. The introduction screen package offers a plethora of properties and customization options to create truly stunning onboarding experiences. Now, take a look at the emulator and see how I can seamlessly navigate forward and backward through the pages with just a simple swipe. So, if you're looking to create captivating onboarding or introduction screens for your Flutter app, be sure to check out the introduction screen package. I'll include the link to the package in the description below, so make sure to explore it further. Alright Flutter enthusiasts, it's time for the final tip in our top 5 tips and tricks in Flutter series. Tip number 5. Using theme data to create a consistent in-app theme. Now, take a look at the emulator and notice how we have a dummy app with an app bar in green color, a body with text, and a purple elevated button. While the design may not win any awards for beauty, it serves a purpose: to teach you about the power of theme data in creating a consistent in-app theme. Let's dive into the code to unravel the magic behind these colors and designs. Surprisingly, I haven't explicitly set any colors or designs for the text, elevated button, or app bar. So how do they reflect different colors? It's all thanks to the theme property of the Material App widget. Inside the theme property, I've set theme data, which allows us to define various aspects of our app's visual appearance. Take a closer look at the theme data, and see how I've set the app bar theme property with a background color of green. That's why our app bar appears in green color. Now below you'll find the elevated button theme. Inside it, I've defined the style property using elevatedButton.StyleFrom, where I've set the background color to purple and the foreground to white. That's why our elevated button looks purple with white text. And here's the best part: wherever in our app we use the elevated button, it will maintain this consistent appearance unless we explicitly override it with individual button properties. This method of using theme data allows us to create a consistent design throughout our app, ensuring a cohesive and polished user experience. But we're just scratching the surface. There's so much more you can do with theme data. For instance, you can set the text theme and even incorporate Google Fonts to create a consistent text theme with a similar font across the entire app. And there you have it. That wraps up our top 5 tips and tricks in Flutter Part 1. I hope you found these tips helpful and informative. Stay tuned for more exciting content coming your way in future videos. If you enjoyed this series, don't forget to give it a thumbs up and share it with your fellow Flutter developers. Do you have any specific tips or tricks you'd like to see covered in future episodes? Let us know in the comments below. Until next time, happy coding, and I'll catch you in the next video.